episode 2, Hide and Seek. It's your boy Icon with some Marvel TV. Now, in our last episode, Kate Bishop had ran up on Hawkeye. Well, Hawkeye ran up on Kate Bishop, and he helped her. He helped her in the alley because she's getting her brains beaten. Then he revealed himself, and she was like, "Oh my God, you're Hawkeye," because she's the only person who knows who he is. She even said he was her favorite Avenger, and I internally started laughing. So, and it's like, and Clint didn't even, he didn't even bat an eye when she said that because, nobody's a fan of Hawkeye. He ends up taking her back to her apartment because he's just like, yo, we got to go get the suit. So they go and get the suit, and then she's asking him all these questions. She was like, can you sign my bow? And are you going to teach me things? And for some reason, she thought that because the two of them met up, that they were going to automatically become like a duo. And he's just looking at her he's like, I just need to get home to my kids. And he's like, yo, just give me the suit so I can go do that. And then he asked her 50 million times. He was like, yo, did anybody follow you? Does anybody know that you're here? And she said no. So then he was just like, well, does anybody know? He said, did you stop anywhere? He said, did you make any stops along the way? And then she said that the only stop that she made was when she, after she saved the dog, when she brought the dog back to her apartment. And then as soon as she said that, the tracksuit mafia, I believe, the jumpsuit mafia, the tracksuit mafia, they apparently followed her. And then they knew her name was on the buzzer, so they know they're looking for Kate Bishop. They take the fire bottles and throw them into their apartment. Her apartment catches on fire, and then once her apartment caught on fire, everything started burning. She ended up saving her bow and arrow. There was one moment where she shot one arrow and knocked one of the fire bottles out of somebody's hand. But the suit was basically trapped behind fire. And then, Hawkeye, he was just like, yo, we got to go. Kate was like, what about the suit? And he was like, forget the suit. We'll come back for it later. So the two of them dipped. And then, after they dipped, they went to her aunt's house because she said that her aunt was in Florida for the winter. So they broke into her aunt's house and they were just sitting there chilling. She, Hawkeye was basically just like, he said, I'm going to go get the suit. And then after that, you're going to spend the night. I'm going to drop you off somewhere. And then, we're going to be done. Hawkeye goes back to the building. The suit isn't there. So now he has to try to find out where the suit is. He Googles, he Googles something. And then basically he saw this dude on YouTube wearing his suit, or on Instagram or something, wearing the Ronin suit and talking trash, saying he was going to be at some medieval challenge performance thing. So Hawkeye was just like, all right, I'm going to go down there and take care of that. He drops Kate off at her mom's job. And then after that, he gave her his number, and then he was just like, yo, only call me if it's super important, because those guys probably might find you, and just in case they do, he was like, I just want to be there. So he was like, only for emergency, just make the call. So, so Kate leaves, and then she ends up going to her mom's job. Then we get this unnecessary scene of Hawkeye going to this medieval challenge thing, and instead of them just allowing him to walk up to the guy that took the suit, because apparently the guy broke into the apartment after the fire had, calmed down. He was a looter. He took the suit, and then he wanted to use the suit to compete in this medieval contest. I don't understand. Instead of just allowing Clint to walk up to this guy, ask him for his suit back, take his suit, and then go on about his merry way, they made him compete in the thing, and. I mean, I wasn't a fan of it. I thought it was kind of silly. But in the end, Clint basically, he did the J.O.B. When he finally got up to the guy, and then he was just like, yo, give me the suit. He was just like, yo, I'll give you the suit, but can I beat you first in the thing? He's like, gonna mean a lot to me. So Hawkeye let him win, and then, the guy was the champion, and then he gave him the suit back. Hawkeye takes the suit, he stashes it, because he had a stash house somewhere. He stashed the suit somewhere, called his wife, called his kids, just to check on everybody. And then his wife asked him, she was like, so what are you gonna do now? And then he said he's going to investigate the tracksuit mafia because he wants to find out who's running this thing, why is it so big, and he wants to find out how deep this whole tracksuit thing goes. So he said he's just going to do a little investigation, and he should be home within 5 days in time for Christmas. Kate, she goes upstairs, she's talking to her mom. Her mom's boyfriend is there. She gets into it with the mom's boyfriend and then challenges him to a duel. Old-fashioned duel. They did everything except slap each other in the face with with mittens. They end up doing fencing because the guy had said he was a fencer. He was trying to relate to Kate as far as talking about fencing. Because of that, she challenged him to a fencing contest. And she thought he was letting her win when it turns out that he actually doesn't know how to fence at all. And Kate said that was my point. She said the only reason why I went through this because I wanted to expose you as being a liar. And she was like, "You're a liar." And then after that, the mom was like, "Kate, how dare you?" And he was like, "No, it's okay." He was like, "She's just lashing out because like I'm about to be her stepfather, and it's gonna be a hard adjustment for her." And then he was just like, "Yo, just calm down." He said, "Here's some butterscotch candy, to try to make peace." And then when he gave her the candy, she had a flashback because his uncle, the dude with the 7 names, I forgot, like Yvonne the third or whatever, like he passed, like when he died, and she found him dead in the apartment. There was butterscotch candy that was there, and it was the exact same butterscotch candy that that her mom's boyfriend gave her. So now she just put 2 and 2 together that her mom's boyfriend has something to do with with the guy's death. So then she frantically, like, she spazzes out, she leaves, she jumps in a cab, and then she calls Hawkeye, and she's like, "Yo, I got some information, that you might want to hear." The Tracksuit Mafia answered the phone and was like, "Clint Barton can't come to the phone right now." So then she ended up GPSing his phone. I can't believe it was that easy. And she goes down to where he's being held captive, because I guess he called the Tracksuit Mafia. They met him downtown, and then they scooped him up and they brought him back to their hideout. So they're interrogating him. He's sitting in the chair doing the interrogation, and then while they're interrogating him, he pulled an Oliver Queen because he was sitting in the chair with his hands behind his back, and then they were just like, "Oh, you're our prisoner. We got you tied up." And then he just like came out and he was just like, "Aha!" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I stole that from Arrow." And but then they were just like, "Who's Kate Bishop?" And then he was like, "I don't know any Kate Bishop." They were like, "Do not lie. Who's Kate Bishop?" He's like, "I've never known or met a Kate Bishop." And then Kate ended up falling out of the sky from the roof because I guess she climbed on the roof to try to like see if she could save him. She went crashing through the roof, landed on the floor, didn't break any bones or like any ligaments or anything. And then after that, like the tracksuit guys had the guns on them. They tied both of them up to like those little toy horses that move back and forth. And then one of the guys went in the room to go talk to a lady who I guess is the boss, the person in charge. He was just like, "Oh, we have both of them, both Kate Bishop and Hawkeye, and then she's going to come out of the room and talk to them," and we saw her face, and I have no idea who she is. So that was it. And thank you for tuning in. So this episode was okay. It just had a lot of unnecessary filler. I just picked out like the important parts of the episode. There's a lot of stuff that, like I said, like the whole medieval thing. It's like, but that's just Marvel being Marvel with the whole like with the jokes and like the unnecessary comedy. But I said I didn't think that was needed. But the important stuff about the show is good. The side stuff, like the comical stuff, I could do without. But like I said it's good so far, and I hope to see who this girl is in the next episode. So share your thoughts below. Like, what do you think of Hawkeye so far? Are you enjoying it? Are you not enjoying it? I actually am enjoying it. I'm not like doing backflips over it, but hell, it's definitely better than WandaVision, and it sure as hell's better than Loki. But like I said, but share your questions and we'll talk about it. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Instagram as always. Like I said, your comments on YouTube, subscribe, like, and share if you can, so we can continue to talk about all this DC and Marvel goodness, superhero wise. Thanks for tuning in, guys. So to episode 3 for Hawkeye, go hide. And until we seek you out, I'm out this.